Hello, hello. Welcome to Praise on Wednesday night.
You go before I know. Hello, hello, and welcome to another Praise on Wednesday night. Tonight. Hello, hello, and welcome to another Praise on Wednesday night. Tonight we have another wonderful guest. Why is everybody so smiley tonight? Hello, hello, and welcome to another Praise on Wednesday night. Tonight we have another wonderful guest with us. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. My name is Ruth Washburn.
Right. Well, we're happy to have you here today. We're just going to ask a couple of personal, both just normal and deep questions to you, just to get to know you a little bit before we go into this time of worship.
I'll ask the first question. Yeah. So the question is, who's your favorite person in the Bible besides Jesus?
I think Nehemiah. In the Old Testament, Pastor Jim did a sermon on a passage from Nehemiah this last Sunday, but he's always been a favorite, mostly because he had he's known for having a sword in one hand and brick and mortar in the other. In other words, he was able to defend. He wanted to defend Israel's position as well as rebuild the walls. Does that make sense?
All right. Well, a question we ask a lot is your favorite food. If you could eat anything right now, like what would it be?
Anything with chocolate.
Oh, so you're a sweets? You like sweets?
I am.
Do you like dark chocolate or are you more of milk chocolate?
I like dark chocolate.
Okay, that's good.
It's good for you.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you don't eat 6 pieces.
That would be me. Oh man, dark chocolate's so good. So another thing that we like to kind of like let our guests share with the viewers is just like a piece of advice. So
trust God. He knows exactly where you've come from, where you're going, what you're going through today, every single minute, every single hour. And he is so wanting to have you trust him like a friend, like a brother. He just really adores you, and I guess that would be it.
Thank you.
Okay, so do you want to introduce your first song and then share why you picked that song?
Sure. The first song is called Defender, and I chose it because the lyrics are really powerful. It speaks about a warrior God. And I think it's really important to remember that as much as God loves us, and he does, he sent his son to die on the cross for us. And as much as he loves us, he still is also a just God and a righteous God. And he cannot tolerate the evil that's around us, that's working against us. And so to be able to trust him with protecting me is really, really important. And that was really what came through with the lyrics. He doesn't, the other thing was that really struck me was the section there's a section in the lyrics that will say, when I thought I'd lost me, you knew where I left me. And it was interesting. It's not, when I thought you lost me, you knew where you left me. It's, I lost myself and I left me, but you came for me. And I really like that particular part of the song.
Yeah, I think it's really important to remember that God is our defender. I just want to ask you if you have anything or moment that you do to find comfort in God.
I guess easiest thing to do is go out for a walk. If I am really struggling with something, walking is part of my day anyhow, but sometimes I just need to go outside for a little bit and walk around the block. We've got all kinds of wildlife in our neighborhood, and it's always kind of fun, and it sort of gets your mind off of what's been going on. There's a very loud owl who lives just down the street. There are deer that roam the back, and it's a very interesting community. But the best part about it is when you get outside and you look up into the sky, and oftentimes the walks are in the evening, you look at that stretch of blue, and it's just incredible that we have a God who would provide so much beauty, so much tenderness in everything that he's given us. And it's really worth just being still in front of him. And if you can quiet your heart just a little bit, even by listening to wildlife or whatever, it's just really a good thing to be still before him and to remember how much he really loves us. And when you can do that, answers come. It's a conversation usually, and I think that's probably the most comforting thing, is that you can converse with him. He's our God.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah, one thing that I liked is that in that part where it's when I think it's like when I lost myself, like you know where I was. I think that's like a good point to make from that would be that like God is like continuously with us. Like he knows like us like the back of his hand, and he's always there with us, and he's always going to be there with us. And I just like that in the song that it's talking about, like he really knows you, right? But yeah, that's good.
He's such a good God. He really is. It's just so easy. It's so easy to... I used to have a pastor, one of the churches when I was younger that I attended, and he said, Christianity is very easy. And I thought, I don't get that. Seems pretty hard to me. The interesting thing is that the easy part is accepting that he loves us. That's a big deal. And when you know that he loves you as much as he does, that's when you can face forward and you can go in his defense and tell others about him, which is really the most important thing.
Yeah, one thing, I don't want to let this up, but in the lyrics, is one of the lyrics is, you bring the head of my enemy, and we were talking about it, and I mean, you made a good point earlier when we were talking about it, that, I mean, like this is a war. I mean, it's not easy, and there's a lot of like things that happen that many don't notice in this fight, and yeah, like, and
the very fact that he goes out ahead of us, that's what's cool. And he comes back and he looks at you and he says, "This is your victory." And that's an awesome truth. It really is. And we have that truth because Christ was absolutely victorious at the cross, and he was raised again from the dead. And that's the reason that we have the victory. It's just neat.
All right. Well, I know you also prepared a second song. Did you want to share the name of that song and a little bit of why you chose that as well?
It's Where You Are. It was done by a group called Leeland. And I've listened to it for a long time. I've always liked the musicality of it. It's got a nice rhythm, and it's kind of like, it's a little bit like a lullaby. It's because it's that 3/4 time, sort of. But it's really, the biggest reason I chose it is because I love Jesus. I love him. I just love him. And it's when you start to learn how to love him, and I think it's a learned process. But when you start to learn how to love him and you get into his presence, there isn't anybody else you really want to talk to. And it becomes annoying when people come up and interrupt you. But then you find that you can actually love him in the middle of everything that you're doing. And that's the reason that I chose it. I just really love him.
I think your confession that you really love Jesus is so precious. It touched my heart.
You know, one thing, so you already gave kind of like a piece of advice, but from what you said, like, I mean, that you just love Jesus so much, what would be like the number one way you feel has kind of impacted your life to really just be able to say that?
The biggest thing is being able to love other people. I work in retail. Retail is fascinating. There are so many different people who come and go, and they have all different kinds of personalities and quirks, and they're just interesting. That's another place that you can see the creativity of our Father. It would be so boring if there weren't people that you could really get angry with. It would. But one of the things that I've learned is that the more I love Jesus, the easier it is for me to reach out and love those who are unlovable. And there are a lot of people that are like that. One of the biggest cries of our hearts as children is we want our dad. And there are so many people who do not know that kind of love. And as a Christian, loving Christ, I can reach out to them and I can show them a love that's better. But the practical aspect of that is that I can reach out in a gentle and loving manner. It doesn't mean that you're weak. That's not it at all. But you're able to reach out and talk to people.
Thank you. All right. Yeah, I think that's about all I have. Did you want to say anything else? All right. Well, do you want to go ahead and lead us into this moment of praise then for the second song?
Sure, that'll be just great.
All right. Let's get on it then.
Just wanna be